The worst mistakes of my 20s. So today is the last day of my 20s, and to celebrate, I'm sharing with you the 6 biggest mistakes that I made for you to avoid, so you don't have to go through the pain and the trauma and the slow learning, so that you can reap the riches of your 30s, 40s, 50s in your 20s. So welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. Before I get started, I'm just letting you know I wrote a whole book on this. It's called I Wish I Had Told Me Sooner. I wrote it as a 27-year-old me to a 20-year-old me, but if you're older, if you're a woman, it can still be useful. To get it, go to my Instagram at TravisDWoo, find the recent post about my lessons on this, and just comment or DM me, say that you want the book, and you'll get it. Okay? And tomorrow, when I turn 30, I'm going to come back and I'm going to share with you the best lessons from my best moves in my 20s that made up for everything, because I made some pretty dumb mistakes in my 20s. However, I'm in a pretty good spot going into my 30s because I made a couple good decisions, and I'm going to share those with you tomorrow. So, number 1, what was my biggest mistake was being a stoner. Man, being a stoner, I don't know what happened. I listened to too much rap music or something. I thought it was cool, but it clouded every decision that I made and contributed every single mistake on this list. You might think, hey, it's harmless. Well, if you do it all the time, every day or every week for 10 years, it really adds up. Can take you off track, takes your focus, takes your time, makes your sleep worse, sends you down. It's just not a good decision. It's better to be sober, okay? Now, I have a whole video on that called, what is it? I quit smoking weed and the results blew my mind, so you can check that out. So that was number 1 biggest mistake. The number 2 mistake was that I got a lot of attention for the wrong reason. Now, attention for a good reason is great, and you can make money off that and forward causes. Attention for the wrong reason you can also make money off of. You can make money off being controversial. However, it's not worth the stress. It will close some doors. It will cause a lot of anxiety, especially on social media. Getting attention for the wrong reasons caused me so much anxiety in my 20s, probably cut some years off my life. However, it led to some good things, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. The third big mistake I made was feedback. I didn't take it. I was narcissistic, I was vain, I was prideful, I had ego, because I got like a lot of followers and had I could build an echo chamber where everyone had to say how great I was. And it stalled my growth and contributed to making some major mistakes that later I would have to hire people and pay them to teach me the stuff that I'd been turning down for free. So that was a major thing, refusing feedback. And again, tomorrow I'm going to get into the flip side of this. But yeah. The 4th one is, mistake I made is sketchy business. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I didn't operate sketchy business, but I went into business with sketchy people, and I lost money, a lot of money. Fortunately, I lost money, because if I had made money right away, could have led me down a bad path. But yeah, don't invest in distrustful people or people who have bad agendas. That should be obvious. It can be tempting when you're desperate or you have money laying around. In that case, I had money laying around and I was desperate, and yeah, weighed heavily on my conscience, and I'm happy to have lost the money, but you don't need to, lose a third of your savings or spend thousands of dollars to learn this lesson like I did. The 5th mistake that I made in my 20s was getting too close with the wrong people. I don't want to give this away, or blame the wrong people, but, I got very close with the people who had bad habits, and those contributed to me having bad habits that I would later have to isolate myself and correct from. And it would have been much easier and better if I had just found the right people. People who have similar habits, similar goals, similar values. Just being around the wrong people, not good. The 6th mistake that I made in my 20s was, it was with Bitcoin. Someone came on my live stream, I had hundreds, thousands of viewers, and said, hey, can I donate to you 1 Bitcoin? People started wanting to give me Bitcoin donations. At the time, it was worth like $100. I didn't know what it was. I was skeptical. I didn't want to set up a Bitcoin wallet. I said no, PayPal only. And Bitcoin is worth 7,000 now. Just that one Bitcoin. I peaked at 14,000. So my financial situation could have been way different. Would have been way different if I had gone down that path, and I would have created a lot of wealth. However, this way I maybe had more fire to create a business, which is what I did instead. So those are the big mistakes that I made in my 20s. Tomorrow I'll be back with the right lessons, the good things I learned. Again, if you want my ebook, I wish I had told me sooner, I'll give it to you for free. Just go at Travis D. Wu, DM me there, or follow my or comment on the post where I'm giving it away, and I'd be happy to do that. So thank you, I appreciate you. I'm excited to come back tomorrow and share more good lessons, because despite some of these mistakes, I'm in a pretty good position going into my 30s. Good health, good finances, I love my job, I like the people that I work with, I have a lot of good things in my life, and obviously I have a lot to thank and be grateful for that, for people and forces outside of myself. But I also made several good decisions that contributed to me being in this position. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So make sure to get your free book. Thank you. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Much love.